Hello, my name is Bianca and I'm going to take you on a tour of my website on Romania's economy. Up first, you'll just see some fun facts like when Romania joined NATO and the EU, as well as Romania is home to Transylvania and the Dracula folktale. So anything vampire most likely stemmed from Romania. And then this right here is a picture of sarmale, which is a traditional Romanian dish of meat encased in pickled cabbage. And this is a picture of Romania's Capitol building. So first up, we have our trade page. As you can see, the top trading partners. And like I said earlier, Romania is a part of the EU, which means that they are a part of all EU agreements, such as the General Scheme of Preference, as well as they have quite a few free trade agreements. Here are the top imports and top exports. Do I think Romania has comparative advantage? No. Seeing how they import and export the same items, the same products, I don't believe that they have comparative advantage at all. And in regard to petroleum specifically, their reserve is declining, so I can see in the future less exports of refined petroleum and more imports of crude petroleum. We're going to head over to the policy page. And first up, we have the Support for Romania fiscal policy, and this is going to hand out 2.5 million electronic meal vouchers, as well as give out a 700 RON stimulus to 3.3 million retirees. And this is going to in turn increase inflation and GDP and decrease unemployment, which can be seen in this chart. And right here we have monetary policy and some background information on this. There was a meeting on February 9th, and there was a meeting before that meeting, and there was a meeting before that meeting. In the meeting before February 9th, I know it's a little confusing, but just try to stay with me. They decided to increase these rates to the rates that they are now, right here on the left. And in the meeting before the February 9th meeting, they realized that in increasing these rates, it actually decreased inflation quite a bit. So they decided to just keep the rates the same in the meeting prior to the February 9th meeting, and the trend continued. So in the February 9th meeting, they decided to keep the rates the same as well, and this is a chart that is more realistic to what is going on in today's world. However, this is a chart based off of specifically keeping the rates unchanged, which is why there's only one aggregate demand line. However, in the chart that's closest to the world, there are two, and the second aggregate demand curve is shifting inward. Next up, we have our goals page. Before we get to the area of greatest concern, I'll just show you the stats. This is Romania 2020, Romania 2021, and here's just a little summarization and some countries to compare it to. Ghana, which is a similar total area. This is Moldova, which uses the same language, as well as Moldova used to be a part of Romania, and they broke off in 1940. This is Senegal, which is the closest to Romania's stats as you'll find, and most likely I believe it's because the population is very similar. And this is Chad. Chad's got the same flag. Now, the area of greatest concern is going to be the inflation rate. And I say this because in 2020, the inflation was 2.6%, and in 2021, it was 5%. Now, in December of 2022, it was 16.37%. But of course, after changing the rates of monetary policy to try to bring down inflation rate, it did work. And as you can see in January, the inflation rate was 15.07%. So hopefully we'll continue to see a downward shift of the inflation. Last, we have resources. Romania is slightly smaller than the state Oregon, and about 60% of its land is agricultural land, which makes sense because with its 19 billion population, a lot of the population is spread out, meaning more urban areas. The issue with this is that Romania does use the euro. However, it only uses the euro in more densely populated areas, such as Bucharest, which is the capital, and less urban areas don't use the euro, and they're more likely to just use the RON. Capital, Romania builds it by importing products, exporting products that are refined after they imported them. And they have the means to do this with 45 airports, a few rivers, including the Danube, which opens up trade to Siberia, Hungary, Slovakia, as well as they have the Black Sea, which opens up trade to Ukraine and Bulgaria. And with their entrepreneurial ability, they have a score of 67.1, which ranks them 47 out of 184 countries. And it's a moderately free country, quite easy to start a business, but where businesses find trouble is hiring employees because payroll taxes are at 25%, so more employees are wanting to work in the underground economy. And this is the bibliography. Thank you for watching.